What up, everybody? Welcome to Kicks Convo. I'm your host, Mr. Fresh to the Soul. Now, you might be wondering, what is Kicks Convo? As a lifelong sneakerhead, I wanted to share my desire and passion for sneakers with the world. So we created a space to talk about sneakers, culture, and life. Let's get right into it.
We the culture, we nothing like them vultures. If you didn't, now you know it. Our convos be the latest and our shoes is just the dopest. We keep a high topic when we known to be the coast. Cause we stepping with black excellence, progression in our motion.
On today's episode, our special guest is Trae. She's a stylist, creative director, and sneaker enthusiast. We're gonna talk about fashion, styling, and of course, kicks in this fire combo.
We the culture, we nothing like them vultures. If you didn't, now you know it. Our convos be the latest and our shoes is just the dopest. We keep a high topic when we known to be the coast. Cause we stepping with black excellence, progression in our motion.
So let's get right into it. Trae, tell the world a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Trae. I'm a stylist, sneaker enthusiast. Of course, Baltimore native, East Baltimore, not West.
Okay.
Just had to clear that up because sometimes people, they don't be knowing. And I just love fashion, like all things. It's just a big part of who I am. I remember when I was a kid, I used to literally make my cousins play dress up, and they was just like, "Why are we doing this?" But now, like as I'm older, I'm realizing I'm like, "Duh, it was in me from day one," you know.
So how did you get into like styling?
Well, I've always been that friend that people call on, like, what should I wear? And like, I just never paid any attention because I always been into fashion. Like, I had my own brand since I was 17.
Oh, wow.
I used to make jewelry, and then I started making clothes. So people just knew me as being, you know, that friend that was in the clothes. So with that being said, they just kind of put it on me without me actually taking on that role as a stylist. But as of lately, I've been like really just engulfing myself in just different types of styles and figuring out how I can step into that lane because I've decided to take a step back from actually making clothes, and I really just want to dive into this and see, like, you know, sometimes we have one idea of who we think we are, and then life has a funny way of showing you who you really are. And I think ever since I've kind of made that transition to trust myself, it's just been like one thing after another, like being booked for things. I'm just waking up to text like, "Hey, we want you on this to help with that," and I'm making myself available for it because, again, like, I'm not going to limit myself to who I think I am. I want to be all I literally can be.
Like growing up, did you have any like certain individuals that influenced your personal style?
I definitely grew up in an era where the internet was slowly becoming a thing, in the sense of like MySpace is like our everyday life, not like now where we have our phones and we could just scroll TikTok all day long. It was like you had to wait till you get home and get on the computer and get on Tumblr. So I think a lot of my style influence came from Tumblr and like I want to say mid 2000s, like 2008. I mean, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell, like Rihanna, like back when like the swag era, when like, you know about the swag era. This is your golden years. I'm pretty sure you know. So it just recalling those things to my memory and then trying to mix in things that I saw. Like when I was a kid, my grandmother had showed me this movie called Crush Groove. And it had like all of the old like rappers and like LL Cool J, the Fat Boys and all that. Like they wore a lot of Adidas, they wore like Dougie Fresh. So it's like I always kind of researched different styles, and I always wanted to know how you can incorporate those things into everyday, you know, wear. Like a lot of the styles from the 80s coming back. You're seeing guys wearing crop tops and like crop shirts and bigger pants and flare jeans, and you know, I really love that because it's showing that things don't really go out of style. Yeah. Things go out of trend.
Wow.
So it's like when you have your own personal style, you're known for being a certain type of way. Whereas though trends, again, some people just strictly follow trends, and you have some people who know how to mix their personal style with trends to stay current and relevant. And then you have some people that's just stuck in their style. Yeah. And they're just not going to come out of that.
So like, how do you balance that when individuals come to you for like a photo shoot or even like, you know, an event? Like, how do you manage their personal style but still incorporate some newness or some freshness?
Well, the first thing I try to do is, fortunately, I've been able to know majority of the people, and I know there will come a time when I won't know them at all. So I try to get a good grasp on, you know, how they present themselves, regardless of gender. Like you have people who can be more comfortable in sportswear, leisure wear, or you have some people who just really genuinely enjoy dressing up. And you have to know where their comfort level is first and what boundaries they're willing to push. Because like a person who typically is in sweatsuits all the time, it's gonna be a wow factor if you see them in a suit.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to know if they're willing to be put in a suit. And sometimes people don't know until they try it on, and because they just may have never had the confidence to be like, I could look good in a suit.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it comes down to body composition and measurements, and that plays a big factor. Like in my kind of early 20s, I worked at Nordstrom in menswear, and we had to learn how to do measurements for the body. And
Shout out to Nordstrom.
right, we had to learn how to do measurements for the body. And once I saw what a good fit could do,
Yeah.
and not like just like, okay, I look good, I like this outfit, but like, no, when your clothes actually fit you well, your confidence is going up by so many points, because it's like, imagine that great pair of jeans you have. You never have to question if your fit's going to turn out good. You're like, oh, I got those jeans, you know? So it's like, once you get something that fits your body correctly, no matter what your body composition is, but it's like once you actually take that time to kind of tailor, create the pieces in your wardrobe, your personal style gets developed. And another thing people don't know is a lot of clothes that are made are meant to be tailored. Like when you buy something out of the store, obviously if you have money, the idea is that you're not actually a small or medium or extra large. Like sometimes you may go up a size, but you get it tailored and it fits you correctly.
Wow.
Like that's the way clothes are actually meant to be worn off the hanger. They're not really made to just, oh, I'm a small, I just put this on. Now, if you're lucky, obviously you can fit it. But it's just like, there's a whole nother aspect to it. And, you know, working with the people in the tailor shop, or, you know, seeing a guy come in and say, I want one pair of jeans, and then he's left with 3 pair of jeans, 2 shirts, because like we had some time to build that experience and really say like, you know, how do you feel about this? Or how do you feel about that? And for me, it just really helped me to, I guess, develop my own style in a way. And in a sense, show other people that it's nothing wrong with playing within your boundaries and kind of without. Like, push the boundaries. See, you never know. You never know whose attention you could attract. Like, you see a guy never wearing a suit, show up in a suit, you're like, oh wow, who are you?
So how did you like become a enthusiastic person about shoes? Like, how did you find your love and your passion about shoes?
Man, all my life. I mean, I'm definitely a kid of the 90s. You know, Jordans is just in our blood. I have plenty of pictures and Concords and 3s and 12s and just like everything. So, you know, me and my sister, we were always big Jordan heads. We always compared Jordans on Christmas. Like, oh, I got these, what'd you get? And it just kind of stuck. And, you know, as I got a smidge older, maybe like middle school, I started to really want things and I could not afford. But I used Tumblr to like repost these things, and like it was like a online diary to be like, and then just keeping up with all the releases like Sneaker Freak or that magazine they had. Just keeping up with all the releases. And then as I got into high school, we had a community here in Baltimore called Sneaker Exchange. And, you know, me and my friends, we would literally, it sounds dangerous, and it probably was, but we would meet people and exchange sneakers in the sense of like, hey, you got a pair of LeBrons, like the Bronze was hot. I want these, I don't have this color, I'm willing to do a trade plus $100. Like, it was a time. Also, people was getting robbed for their shoes too, so it was really a crazy time to be a sneakerhead. Okay, we done all this talking about shoes, so you gonna get into what you got on your feet? Because hold up, what's this?
Yeah, let me go ahead and get the little.
Okay, throw his leg up. Okay, what you got on the feet? What's on the feet?
These are the Action Brunson's 1906.
Nice.
Rosewater. Yeah, they claim they came in the mail, you know, a couple days ago. But no, these shoes are fire. Like, one of my favorite shoes. It's just the colorway is clean. The colors are vibrant, and yeah, man, I'm in love with the 1906.
You know, I have yet to get a pair of those, but I will. You really been inspired me because your collection 1906 is crazy. Yeah. I really love the laces on these, bro. These are really fire.
I appreciate it.
So
and
also,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What do you have on your feet?
I got the Solomon XT6. You know, something light. Something light. You know, I'm really not a lavender purple person, but I really wanted to push and see. And I was like, I had the shoes first, and I got the shirt later, and I was like, this could work. So yeah, they're definitely comfortable though. I would say that. Different also. I haven't seen that many people wear them, but I definitely would grab the all black pair.
I love them. Like, how do you mix your style of shoes with the fashion, like sneakers with suits, or even like some loafers with a pair of jeans. Like
I love the loafers and jean look.
yeah,
It's so like schoolboy, playful, especially like with a
Tyler Trae
cardigan.
look.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a cardigan. Louis V is doing a great job of showcasing some of that too. Like a cardigan, like the white socks, the shorts, and skinny tie. Like
yeah,
I love that look. You definitely will see some of those looks coming from me. It's just about playing high and low. So there's this thing in the creative process. It's called the scamper method.
okay.
So like
What's that?
it basically stands for S is for substitute, C is for combine, A is for adapt, M is for modify, P is for put to other uses. Bear with me on my brain. E is for eliminate, and R is for reverse. So it's like anytime you have an idea, you would apply the scamper method. So I try to apply it to everything, whether I was creating clothes or I'm creating a look. So in the sense of put to other uses, instead of having a sneaker, you could, swap a sneaker for a loafer for a streetwear look, and it will kind of give you that like high-low play or create a new type of element to what's going on. So the more that I see that, I love it because it's showing me that creators are creating, like they're in their bag, like, and not that this stuff is new, like you've seen stuff before, but it's just like the way that's being portrayed now is just amazing.
Like for me, I love learning about fashion. When I was younger, I wasn't always the fashionable person. I didn't have enough funds or the
I
money.
feel like people who like that when they're younger, they
Yeah.
grow up and they just be like, bro, I got it, because it's like I got makeup for lost time.
Yeah.
Like I told y'all, I was broke before. I didn't have the New Balance and that Prada money in ninth grade, so it's like now, not to say like you feel me, but it's like I gotta come on. Like you have to make up for lost time, like you said, and I mean, you definitely coming through, stepping in the 1906s. I love these. I was definitely watching them, and seeing them on foot is really crazy. And even like with some of the colors in it, like the pink to the green to the blue, and it's just like these colors, they are all so different, but they play so well together.
And so comfortable.
They look comfortable for sure.
I got a question for you. Is there like a shoe that you wish you still can get, or is there like a grail that you desire at this moment?
Off the top of my head, the Carolina 3s, Jordan 3s.
I think they come back out too as well.
Are they? I think the black cement ones are dropping too. Those definitely something I always kind of wanted. Chunky Dunkies, SBs. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not paying the 17 for them. I'm not. Maybe on a low end day, but I don't know about that. My GOAT want list is pretty full, but off the top of my head, those two are just like, yeah.
I got a dunk high. Listen, if you check out my IG, please shoot me a DM. It's a Ferris Bueller. That jump with the leopard print is fire. Also, man, I always wanted a pair of Air Mags.
Wow. Okay, Martin McFly, the Air Mags.
Straps. So, I mean, they're available now, though, but
that price tag is crazy.
A car note.
Nah, seriously. You know what? Speaking of car notes and price tags, remember like the Yeezy when he was with Nike Wave?
Oh. Can I tell you a story?
Please do.
Listen, Joey Ford, my guy, Finish Line. I used to work at Finish Line, and Joey used to know every single person. They used to come to the store. This is Finish Line at White Marsh and Finish Line at East Point.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yo, Rob, I got a shoe." I'm like, "You ain't got this shoe." He had the pair of Blanks, Yeezys, the second version.
Okay.
And he offered me to buy them for $800. I looked at him like, $800? $800?
He said it was never gonna happen. It was never gonna be me.
Yeah, but I should have bought those for $800.
You really should have. But even back then, 800 was outlandish. 800 is outlandish just for resale or anything for a shoe. Now, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what kind of drug dealing purse these kids got, or Ghost and Tasha. These kids is coming to school in straight up Balenci's. Like, bro, y'all, they stepping.
They hooping the Balenci's.
They stepping. I ain't gonna lie, they ain't all real. But the ones that's real, your parents doing right by you, because I couldn't keep up. I mean, they coming to prom in helicopters. They wearing Balenci's to school. I was just trying to get a pair of New Balance and some dope back then. You know, back then, Prada's was even, like $370? Prada's are like $800 now. It's just... And that's when a low end for a designer shoe. Like the game has changed so much. It's not really about the Jordan or the New Balance or the SBs. It's about like straight designer shoes. Yeah. And I do hope that kind of dies down because, like, I'm big on include. What is this word I'm trying to say? Come on, Rob, pull your dictionary up. Let's just say inclusion, right? Right. Let's just say inclusion. Inclusion. I would love to see like everybody getting fly in their own way.
Yeah.
Like I would hate to see a kid who really like he got that on though. You know what I'm saying? He got a cool pair of New Balance on.
Like,
but it's like
stay true.
He not really getting a recognition because he don't got on Balenci's or he don't got on that. And it's like that kind of pushes the kid one into the wrong lane to to get these things that they can't, or two, it can kind of mess with your confidence. And if anybody who can't afford those things, your time will come. Trends literally are like waves. Like they come, they go. They come, they go. Like right now, people wearing Balenci's. I promise y'all, the economy is trash. Them Balenci's about to get put up, and they going back to New Balance. So just if you do feel like
we love New Balance.
We love New Balance. We do. Baltimore staple shoe.
Yes.
Outside of Under Armour, we love New Balance. If you feel like you're not on trend or you can't keep up, that's fine. Just like stick to your lane, be yourself. And I promise you, the same way baggy jeans just came back from 2002, I guarantee you, like, being modest and regular is gonna come back. Just stick to yourself, your lane. Don't ever put yourself in a position where you're trying to be something you're not, even just for validation or recognition. But, I think that's a hard part of shoe culture. Like, kids, when we was looking at people was dying over shoes.
Yeah.
Like Jordans and stuff. And it's sad, we don't see that as much today, which is good. I guess DHgate helps with that too. But all that being said, it's just like fashion is expression. Whether it's your sneakers, whether it's what you put on, your bag, whatever. It's like, it's a way of communicating without even saying a word. And I love that. Like, that's really the essence of why I like fashion.
That's crazy you say that.
Speaking of that, why do you love shoes?
Man, why do I love shoes? Just like you said, I think like shoes are just like basketball. Like they both are like a universal language, and you don't have to say anything at all, right? To speak. So like for me, it's the opportunity to express myself. I love colors. I love things that are going to turn heads. Yeah. So I used to work at Finish Line, and I remember back in the day where I couldn't afford the highest or the best shoes. And my mom on, back to school time, she would tell me like, listen, you're not getting that. Trauma. You're not getting that.
Back to school trauma. My mom just tells me at $40 budget. $40. What am I going to buy with $40?
I'm $29.99 warehouse.
Oh my God. We trauma bonding right now. The $29.99 tennis shoe warehouse.
We got stories
for days. For days. Like,
but
if your mama was on a budget, you know about the $29.99 tennis shoe. Wow.
Freaky Rees, right?
I ain't gonna lie. She ain't never did me that dirty, baby. I ain't never had no Freaky Rees.
Mama, I love you.
I love you, mama.
That's crazy. For me, I remember buying and selling shoes at the Baltimore Sneaker Show. Shout out to Dino.
Okay.
Dino's the brand ambassador. He was the guy, like anything Nike and anything shoe related. Yeah. They would come to him for the information. So I remember sitting in the pits. And
name actually sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's my guy. So I remember trading and getting a pair of Bel Air 5s.
Whoa.
Yeah. I remember like, man, listen, found a guy, he had it in his hand, and I gave him the bread. He came back a couple minutes later with the other shoe, but that was like the best shoe, one of the best times of my life, because the opportunity to get shoes that you couldn't get on release day.
Couldn't. So,
do you remember the time when you bought your first pair of shoes?
So, again, this dated me, but it's fine. When the electric blue Pro foam posits came out, man, I was in a 12th grade, and it was like right at the kind of mid to end.
Not the foam ones, but the
no, they were pair of Pros with the check.
The check on the side.
With the black check. With the black check. Yeah, this was like when I first got into high school, everybody was wearing the eggplants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, I could not. Like, eggplants and Pradas was the thing for like 2008, 2009. I did not have eggplants and Prada money. I barely had Nike money back then. Like, come on, I'm in the 9th grade. So, to see me come in the 9th grade and not even be able to keep up. And then by 12th grade, I was like, I bought my own pair of dopes. It was like, it really made me feel like my like a part of my identity in a way. Like I remember standing in line at the Foot Locker on Monument Street. It was a Saturday morning.
Dangerous.
Oh, very dangerous. It was a whole line.
Anything monument dangerous.
Look, stop it on my hood. It was a whole line. And I remember just standing up there just being posted. And I mean, again, I'm this teenage girl in high school, and it's just grown men like posted. And I remember I had my cash in hand, and when the door opened, we just like kind of bum rushed the cash register, and they were just like, everybody's like this, waving money, waving. I'm like, what size you need? What size you need? So I gave my size. He's like, gave me the box. I mean, no receipt. We just grabbing and going, right? And I remember as soon as I got my shoes, straight out the door. Again, this is like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So at the time, I was living around on Milton, so I got back there, and I showed my aunt, boyfriend, and he was like, oh, you got him, you got him. Like, again, he's a grown man, so he's even excited. And my aunt, she's like, you don't have to exchange money without a receipt. I'm like, girl, I don't care. I got these shoes. I could not wait to get these. And then the first day of school, I didn't even wear them. Because I was like, nah, everybody that got this shoe, they came out in July. You know, school is in August. They going to come back first day. And sure enough, the very first day of school, like 3 people had them on.
You one of those that's looking wait.
Nah, I bust out in the New Balance 993s.
Okay.
993s was still
classic. Still
classic gray.
One of the best shoes.
The next day, boom, hit them with the electric blues. Cause I was like, I already knew they was gonna do that. I already knew, like, you gotta show your best shoes first day.
Do you have any other like crazy shoe moments that you could share with us?
Another significant shoe. It's not a sneaker per se. Well, it is designer sneaker. I caught my first pair of Rick Owen Geo baskets in 2018.
Okay.
Crazy cop. I had been thinking about it forever. Again, I've been a fan of Rocky, you know, as a kid when I was listening to him, you know, during that big ASAP Mob era. And I always heard him talking about like Rick Owens, Raf Simmons, and it made me look up like, what is this? And Rick Owens is very avant-garde, is very high fashion. So at the time, people just wasn't wearing Ricks. Like, they also were $1,200. People were just not wearing Ricks. So when I got them, I don't even think I really knew what I had. Like, I knew, like, this is a big shoe to have. But it was like, I kind of feel like I wore them too much in the beginning, and then I put them up. And then it's like 2020, everybody got Rick Owens. And I'm like, bro, I had these since 2018 now.
Still a classic shoe.
It's the classic shoe, and it's still in my rotation. But again, it's just, that was definitely one. And another honorable mention would be the Black Cat 4s.
Oh, classic.
Black Cats. That's a cop I'm really... Crazy story about how I got those. We'll not go into detail. However,
come back for part 2.
Let's just say it cost me. It cost me dearly. However, they all legit. They straight from GOAT.
House.
And they were a gift in a sense. So with that being said, to this day, still when I put them on, just like, I love them. They super comfortable. Like, and then the reselling them now, I think I got them for like $280.
Yeah.
It's like 17 if you want to get
crazy,
especially in my size. So it's like, wow. Like, I'm happy that I got them. Not how I got them, but I'm happy that I got them. A story for another day. But definitely a crazy cop. And ever since then, I've realized, like, for Jordans, I'm definitely a 3 or 4 type. I have yet to get a pair of 1s, so I think I will get my first pair of 1s this year.
I got one last question for you.
Yeah.
Because we're running out of time, but we got to come back for part 2. Definitely for part 2. Is there like one brand that you love over another?
Under Armour. I say that, and not even just because, you know, obviously I'm from Baltimore, but it's like, I love to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I like athleisure. Majority of the times, whether I'm at work, whether I'm just running out on a weekend, a Saturday, especially the fall, I love an Under Armour quarter zip. I love a good pair of Gemini Speed Forms. Bro, the Gemini Speed, those are classic. I got like 3 pair of those. Under Armour just has that, it just has that feel that it's like, you know, some people just Nike, and some people straight like, oh, I'm all Adidas. But it's like, for me, it's really Under Armour overall as a brand. I'm talking about like the clothing, the socks, the shoes, the accessories. Like, that's a brand that I feel like is an everyday for me. Like, I had so many. Yeah, definitely represents Baltimore. It has so many core pieces that just go so well. Because, like, you can't, not saying you can't, but like, there are days when you just want to throw something on and you still want to look good.
Yeah.
And I just think that Under Armour is just that brand for me that just really like, it puts me in my, like, go-getter mood. Like, I'm in all black.
Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for
Of
coming
course, thank you
through
for having
and
me.
blessing the podcast. We got to bring you back.
Anytime.
How can the viewers, right, like get some more information about you?
Well, I'm starting my TikTok content journey, so please follow me. There's a mixture of content, but you can definitely find me for some styling. Won't give you Instagram because of my goals. I haven't been posting most of the time. Just check me out on TikTok.
Well, listen, for more updates, follow everything Fresh to the Soul. And you already know, stay humble and make sure your soul is clean.
Okay.
We out.